Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom with David Norman at Aquarian Pearls. And today I'm supremely honored to be with Monsieur Robert Wan in Polynesia, in Tahiti. Mr. Wan has cultivated and sold the most quantity and quality of Tahitian cultured pearls over the history of Tahitian pearling in the world, and supplied the finest houses and has his own retail brand, and is by far the most successful man in Tahitian pearling. And we're going to get to know Robert a bit today. So welcome, Robert. So good to see you.
Yeah, welcome. Good morning, David.
So good to be with you. And can I start off with basic question to ask you where you were born and where you grew up and went to school?
You know, I born in Tahiti long time ago. And today I can say I'm 86. I'm
Wow.
still good shape, continue to work and continue to go to the farm. This is my passion. And as you know, my parents come from China. I born here. I received my Chinese education in Hakka first, and before to go to the French school. And I start to do business to work when I was 19 years old, and until when I was 40, I was involved to the pearling business in Tahiti at his very beginning. I think it's 1974, and I bought the company called Tahiti Pearl from Bill Reed, William Reed.
Fantastic, fantastic. We interviewed Bill Reed last week, and I think Bill is maybe 88 and he's living in Broome, and he said to send you his very best wishes. Yeah, and still goes to work every day like you. So we must ask you, what's the secret of getting old so well? Like you? You don't look 86 at all.
Well, keep going. Keep going.
Yes.
Stay safe.
Yes.
And especially do some diet.
Yes.
Do some diet.
Robert, so you consider yourself Chinese and Polynesian, both, like Tahitian and Chinese, the same?
Well, it's a funny question. You know, I'm born here, and I received a French education, and I received a lot of French culture and Polynesian culture as well. But on top of that, I'm still feel like a Chinese. I think I count Chinese first, I think Chinese first, and then the rest come afterwards.
Great. And would you tell us how Chinese people think differently to Western people, maybe?
Well, Chinese has a lot of respect, you know, as for many centuries. The Chinese was a slave, like a slave workers, go to overseas, like my parents came to Tahiti. I don't know why. I never asked them why they come and stop by in Tahiti. It was nothing but coconut and lagoon. As a business way, economic, it was nothing. But it was a luck. I think it's a karma for me to be born here in Tahiti. Yeah.
And what was the pearl business like when you started? How difficult was it to grow pearls? Because for our audience who don't know much about pearls but love pearls, it's very hard, I think, for people not in the business to understand how hard it is.
I don't know. I knew nothing about pearl business before 40 years old. And suddenly I discover when I was in Japan, and Bill Reed want to sell his company. At the end of the world is Gambia Island, very southeast of the French Polynesia. After that, nearby the Pecan Island, Mangareva. And I bought it because at that time in Tahiti, is nothing else to do. And pearling business. It was a brand new venture. So I get in with my family, my brothers, and we started. And we started in the Gambia. Very hard, very tough, very tough. And the people are not really welcoming you, and because they consider us like a stranger. But fortunately, my good friend, Francis, he was a very powerful political man before, and he knew Hermana living in this island. And he gave me a recommendation letter. And this is how I started. I went to the Gambier, and he was the the old man received me and protect. He sponsored me.
Like the
He,
chief of the village, the chief of the Gambia Island.
he
Yeah.
was the chief. He was the
Yes.
chief. Yeah.
How
He
far,
was at that
Robert? How
time
far is
84 years old.
yes? How far is the Gambia Islands from Papeete, the
Was
capital?
thousand more than 1,000 miles.
So you
So
went,
I
you
have
would go by boat.
no, I go by plane. I have my own plane.
Oh,
I have
good.
to, otherwise I cannot work. You know,
Right. Right.
by boat, it would take 1 week to go there.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And in those days when you started, was it quite easy to collect oysters and do the grafting?
Oh, today is much easier because
Yes.
we have more knowledge, more experience, and more facilities. Uh, and when I started, it was very tough. It was very tough. No communication. When I start, I used for communication transfer using the military aircraft once a month or twice a month maximum. And how I started, I don't know. It's my life, it's my karma.
And
It's my
great
my luck.
perseverance. Yes.
Something new coming.
Yes.
And I was also helped by the Japanese at that time when I at the very beginning, was it was a guy, Professor Sato. Professor Sato, he's an oyster expert, and another guy, Dr. Miauchi. They really give me a lot of help and to start the operation, to start the how to teach me and recommend me the technicians, the crafter, and so on. And also, Professor Sato introduced me to the grandson of Mikimoto. I went to the Mikimoto Pearl Island and to meet his Mr. Mikimoto. I remember he told me, "Oh, I really appreciate, I like the black pearl. We do have also our black pearl farming in Okinawa, but so many typhoon every year cannot control. So he say, if you cultivate and put out nice quality of pearl, black pearl, I'm a buyer." And this is
Fantastic.
how I started. How I started my relation with Mikimoto guys. And first time, my first harvest I showed to them. I went to Ginza Yes.
What
And
year?
they
What year
really
was
was.
that, Robert? What year did
Huh?
you make your? What year did you cultivate your first harvest?
1977
And what was the
was my
harvest like? What was
first
the
time.
harvest like?
Oh, not much, not very good. No. It's the first one, and we didn't know really the good technique how to handle the margaritifera oysters. And at that time also, when I started in the Gambier, it was a lot of sickness, oyster sickness, and Cicotera also very strong. So after that, we discover little by little how to control, how to improve.
And how long did it take you before you had a really good commercial harvest?
Oh, I think oyster, the pearling depends the oyster, of course. Also depend the environment, the site. The oyster need to have a good food to eat, intake. And my very good harvest, it was 79 and 80, and we started like this. And when I bought the Marutia South, Sud, it 1984, he's huge. He's the lagoon is very, very rich. Rich, and put out very, very healthy oyster and pearl, and bigger size. The oyster is just like same size than the maxima, almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do,
And until now, I think my best production site is Marutia.
Robert, and but when the harvests were very good and the pearls were very good, were you by now selling them all over the world?
Yeah. We never can control 100% of the
No,
oyster. Nobody can. Even Nick Paspare, he cannot
no.
control 100% of the oyster. But scientifically, we need a lot of investment and need a lot of protection, need a lot of care for the oyster. The oyster is a live animal. We need just like a human. They need a lot of care. They need a lot of care. They need a lot of how to handle that, and then you can put out good quality.
And you were selling by private negotiation in those years with people like Andy Muller in Japan and Mr. Asael in New York, and the big players in the market. Yes, they'd come to Tahiti and negotiate with you.
At that time, yes, it was a good timing, and all my harvests are pre-sale.
All your harvests are. I missed that.
Are pre-sale.
Yes, yes.
Mr.
Private sale.
Asael,
Sale. Yes.
Shimizu-san, Tokyo Pearl, Tasaki, Nagori, Mikimoto. They all come. They all come on the market. And today things are changing. You know that.
Yes.
Like the human, or the business, also is new generation.
I was very excited to come to your first auction in maybe 1999, I think.
No, 98.
98, the Hong Kong auction. Yes,
In Hong Kong.
that was wonderful. And then you had the room full of people from all over the world, and the business seemed to expand even more, which was very healthy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
today we find the business is so different now. Our business,
It's different.
we sell
Different.
differently always. Yes.
The old days, all the buyers, they are all the pearl lovers.
Yes.
And today, the buyer, they are the businessmen. It's
Yes.
something different, completely
Yes.
different.
But what's the best pearl you've ever grown you have some beautiful pearls in your museum I've seen in Papeete.
Yeah,
But do you
I
have
put
a
it in the museum,
yes,
my personal collection.
yes,
Yeah, and today it's difficult to produce the same quality. I difficult, not difficult, but different way to
yes.
proceed. Yeah.
Why are the pearls so small today compared to before? You in the museum, you have 21 millimeters, and we have some amazing bigger pearls from the 80s and 90s. But 2019, 2020, there seems to be so many small pearls now. Is that because
Well,
it's smaller cultivation?
my size is still reasonable, you
Yes,
know. But the older growers, because maybe they pre-harvest, the retention time is, I think, is not enough,
no, no.
and also they're looking for profit. Uh, Implant the smaller nucleus much easier. I think this today I compare the situation. The Tahitian pearl exactly like the Akoya 20 years ago. Over, overdone, overproduction, so fast. Hamage time too short, too short. You know, maturation. We don't need that. I think the government try to control, but they cannot. They cannot control.
Do you
I
know
think
how many farms there are altogether in Tahiti or companies farming?
oh, I think few hundred, almost thousand, almost thousand.
Very different to Australia, where Mr. Bailey has maybe the vast majority and good control
He
of the market.
control,
Yeah,
so he can
yeah,
control the quality. And the worst part from us, we cannot control the marketing, and they don't know how to do properly.
mm,
And especially they don't consider today the mind changing. They don't consider the pearl as a gem, as the next product. Just business, just business.
and yet to make a pearl, it takes so much capital equipment, boats and aeroplanes and workers and cleaning oysters and nucleus and nature. We're at the mercy of nature, and it's amazing, really, that you can take an ancient-looking oyster and find amazing Tahitian pearls out of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we love them here. We've got a lot in our business, and we used some of your pearls this month. We made an advert in the Australian Vogue magazine. So we actually we featured your Tahitian pearls, which
Aquarian.
we bought in Hong Kong and from an auction and put in. So we're very happy. But Robert, what are your favorite brands in the jewelry? Do you have any favorite brands of jewelry that use your pearls?
I promote my brand and my name, Robert.
Pearls to Tahiti and Robert Wan
Yeah.
Pearls. So everyone can look up Robert Wan Pearls and find them.
Yes, I do some promotion, especially in the China market.
Yes. Is the China
China
market now the most important market for you?
is the largest market,
Yes. Yes.
and so many consumers, and they have buying power very strong.
Yes.
I feel sorry about, before it was the American market, the strongest. And today it's pretty weak, pretty weak.
We have a business where we sell on television in America, and it's 70% Tahitian pearls and 30% Philippine and Australian pearls. But Tahitian is still popular. But when Mr. Assail was alive and promoting, there was a much stronger Tahitian business.
Oh, Mr. Asher, he was a pearl lover.
A great
Really,
promoter.
oh,
Yes.
he did a very, very good promotion. He is the person who introduced our pearl to GIA and to recognize by the GIA.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's on the 19th. I don't know. I don't remember the year. And since I have my education wing in GIA also, you know, Robert
Yes.
Wan.
Yes. You've got
Oh,
a wing in
we
Carlsbad.
need to do a lot of promotion, like we did before when we started
Yes.
on the 90s. And today, nobody care about promotion, and we don't have budget also to do that because the price is so low, and this is not able for us to put a budget for the promotion.
Does the government of Tahiti help, or in the
Well,
promotion?
the government, as you know, every time they put the new rules, is give you a lot of headache to handle, and formalities, a lot of time, administration. It's not a help, I think. They don't make it as easy to handle our business.
And how do you see the future, Robert, for the future generations coming into the pearl business and the jewelry business?
I think the jewelry business still going, like diamonds and color stone and the pearls, of course. Don't forget, the pearls exists when the human exists.
Yes.
And the pearl is a sign of power on the beauty, and also sign of eternity, and cannot disappear like that. I think, but the players should be careful how to handle and how to promote and how to market all the pearls. It's not like mass market production. We have to consider the pearl has a gem, always, and the beauty of the woman also is combined with the pearl, always, always.
That's fabulous, Robert. I so agree with you in all of that. And as a symbol of spirituality and eternity and beauty, the pearl is
Yeah,
magnificent.
we continue. No way to stop. You know, of course, we have a hard time this this year and the coming year also, and we have hard time, like everybody, huh? So we have to try to handle that, how to manage different way, maybe slow down and protect ourselves much better in the environment, against the pollution, against the climate also, you know. The whole thing is should be together.
Yes. And my last question for today would be, do you have any message for future generations more, like your advice for your grandchildren, say? I know your
Well,
beautiful children, Guy, who who I had great times with, Guy
Well,
and Bruno.
they are with me.
And their children.
I always tell them, the pearl for me is my passion, and is a clean gem. It's come from the ocean, and must be clean ocean also. As and give to the human and our spirit much cleaner, much cleaner. And we should continue. We should continue to, maybe in 15 years from now, different way to handle this. But the pearl should and will be continued.
Fabulous. Robert, it's been such a great pleasure to be with you today
Me too.
in Tahiti.
David.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you. And we have
Thank you.
much more things to do together.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.